we go. That's a fucking healthy board. Thank you, sir. Oh no, where's the remote? Oh, yep, that's the remote control.
Don't fuck up the process, Jerett.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
JJ, are you ready? Problem and clock started.
Yeah, buddy.
Are you ready?
I'm fucking
I
ready.
don't know if they're ready. Welcome back, you motherfuckers.
Hi, friends.
Hey, buddy, what's going on?
I'm just happy to be here again.
Yeah? It's been a couple days.
It's been a couple days since we've seen you.
Yeah. I was on a week-long cruise.
Oh.
Boo-hoo. Pity me. You
Yeah.
should pity me. I feel bad for myself.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I don't like taking vacations.
Oh.
Oh, life is one big vacation.
Someone's got to.
Yeah, so like I was telling that kid who's 18, like you can only vacation so much before you get bored.
Yeah.
Like you can only do so much shit before you're like, kind of want to go home.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean you want to go back to work?
No, no. If the option was, I mean, like, but I like my job a lot.
Yeah, I like mine too. But
but if you don't have to, like, if you didn't have to, I don't know that I would work for someone else. I think if I did not have to work, I would do my own thing and start a cult or something.
Yeah,
like that could be lucrative.
it could be. You could get a lot of folks.
Yeah, I saw a thing today that, so all these ex-football stars and shit, they're charging all these guys all this money to get in shape and shit. I saw a gym membership that's $6,000 a month for exclusive people, but if you put exclusive on it, motherfuckers will buy that.
There's a huge market for somebody that just wants something special.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I pay $149 a month for Orange Theory.
That's not terrible.
It's not terrible, and I've been going for the last 2 years, and I can tell now that I've been like stepping it up. Like I can see a physical and feel a difference.
Yeah, well, you can run like the wind now.
I have a great time, and I'm not paying $6,000 a month to feel special.
Well, it's because you're a hot girl.
I'm a hot girl. I'm not doing hot girl shit.
Oh, Jeebus. Hey, so we got JJ in the studio today, kind of. Did you pick a new date for the Dofo dinner, my love? We do not have a new date for Dofo.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. However, we might kick around an idea or two.
Yeah.
For maybe a golf tournament.
Yes, sir.
That we think would be fun to get some of our folks out and go have fun. Yeah, highest bid on golf gets to play with Jack.
Yeah. And teach me.
Yeah, there you go. And then we were kind of kicking around the idea of clay shooting, like maybe doing a Rahagi's day and going out and fucking around and.
Yep, or Prado.
Or Prado. Yeah, Prado's nice too. Prado used to be an Olympic. They shot there for the Olympics.
For archery.
For archery, yeah.
But I've been to a clay shoot at Prado.
Okay.
An industry clay shoot at Prado, and it was fantastic. We had a great time.
Okay.
And there are always good networking opportunities. Like people talk trash about, oh, you guys are going to go golf, and it's just nothing but an excuse to play golf and drink. But there's a lot of networking and ideas, and
yes,
when you introduce the social aspect to business, I think it drops a lot of people's walls, and it allows for better communication.
Right, 100%. So we're thinking about that, and we would love some more guests.
Yes.
If you are somebody who does something like Tyler Malone, you piece of shit. Like I keep fucking telling you,
come on, dude,
to come on this show and come hang out with us, and you're too cool.
But we just hit up Joey. Joey's gonna.
Yeah, Joey.
I know we've been talking about him, but it's hard. He's a busy man, so it's hard to nail him down.
So I talked to my little brother today, Zachary, Zach.the.ripper on 2 R's on the Instagram, the tattooer.
Yes.
Him and Carlos are thinking maybe the week after their art show.
Yes, sir.
So that'll be coming up, so look out for that. And then, so my dog's in training. My Kevin, my Corso, my big dummy.
The big dummy.
The big dummy, the fucking sweetheart that he is getting trained right now. And I was talking to the guy over there, and they train dogs. I mean, that's what they do. That's their business. And I told him, like, hey, man, maybe if you want to come on it and, maybe somebody needs a dog trainer. Like, because bro, if somebody didn't tell me about this place, I never would have went to this place.
Yeah.
So word of mouth is key, man. And if you got a big ass dog that's needs some fucking obedience training, the 2 weeks that they've had Kevin and I left him another week, night and day.
Amazing.
Night and day, like fucking like that's not my dog. Like he's not running around like an asshole. He like stayed, laid down like fucking 2 weeks. I mean, like it doesn't take forever. It's just repetitive.
Well, and like we've talked about too on the show a lot, we don't do politics, we don't do religion, and there's only so much content that
I'll tell you what though,
JJ and Kendra and all of us can come up with.
I will do politics for Chad Bianco.
Okay.
I will let him come on the show because I think that smaller politics, right? Governor of California. I personally think that he would not be a terrible person to be in that office next.
No, not at
all. So I don't think that we give our opinions on politics. But if a politician maybe wants to come on and educate people about some things, and Chad Bianco is very pro-gun and very wants to take care of the community and very against all of the things that we share.
Sure.
And I would go that route. Okay. I'm not going to have, not that we even have the option to have, Joe Biden or Donald Trump or Kamala Harris on here, but I wouldn't clutter our thing with their things.
Sure.
But I think Chad Bianco, he's got a lot of good stories, got a lot of good points. He's a Riverside County Sheriff. I mean, even if he came on just to talk about that, just how he got to where he is and where he's going and what he sees for himself, I think it wouldn't be terrible.
I agree. JJ set it up.
Yeah.
She's looking at me like, yeah, Jack.
Yeah, call his people.
Go ahead and buy the next winning Powerball ticket, Jack, and we'll get Bianco on the show.
Yeah. So, but no, and like we say all the time, man, if you have a topic, and you want to come on and hang out, I mean, just let us know.
Yeah, if you feel strongly about something and want us to all chat about it, and you're not afraid of our unique brand of criticism and jabs, come on.
Yeah, come by. Also, I want to give a shout out to Brandon Thomas.
What's up, buddy?
Who is fucking obviously still caught up on our shows because he texted me on Monday and said, hey, that word that Jack was looking for was this.
Nice.
It's like, thanks, man. I appreciate
it. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate Brandon coming out and listening to us, man, and supporting us, man. And that dude's been a day one for me. I mean, we go way, way back,
Yeah.
So Brandon, I appreciate you, and I know you're listening because you're fucking writing me about shit from the show. So
that's awesome.
So I hope everything's good, brother. And he's got some places out in Texas that he wants us to come visit, and he's doing well out there. So
he wants us to go gator hunting, doesn't he?
Yeah, dude, they do gator hunting. It's every September, so we missed it. But I'd really like to go do it.
Yeah,
I'd really like to go do it.
I'm down.
So maybe
September's coming up again.
Yeah.
Fucking September will be here again.
Yeah. Before we know it. And then fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Brad.
Fuck you, Brad. Just
it's been a while.
In case you were wondering. Yeah. But does Brad listen? Sometimes. And if he doesn't, then fuck you twice, Brad.
Yeah.
Piece
That's
of
even
shit.
more reason to say fuck you, Brad.
And then shout out to all of our A1s and our day ones and all of our listeners and all of our friends and all of our followers and if you don't know me and Jack personally, we don't get the opportunity to tell you because you don't write us.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys coming out and listening to us. And if this is your first day, welcome to it, motherfucker. You'll be fine. Just keep listening. All right, I promise.
Javi's been messaging me a lot,
and
it's like random stuff, a couple words, and I find I'm like,
we gotta get Javi back.
But I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I'm catching up on all these episodes. By the way, boom, and this, and I'm like, oh, and he's dropping like one or two, like he'll drop a quote from an episode, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is vaguely familiar, but what is it? And he's like, dude, from this episode, from that, I'm like, oh my God. He's like, he was like 10 behind. I think he sat down and cranked out like 4 or 5 in a day.
Did he?
Because he blew me up.
Thank you, Javi. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
And Annie was here today. Annie's an avid listener. Just everybody, man. We have a really good following, and our friends are they like talking to us too, but they don't mind listening to us fucking jibber jabber. So we appreciate the shit out of you guys.
Hell yes.
And JJ told us we have to fucking cut the banter down in half. So JJ's looking at me right now like, stop boogie talking.
Well, why don't you talk about the whiskey we're gonna drink?
Okay. And Joe Rogan's back on the board.
Oh, he is. What up,
hey,
Joe?
We're so fucking waiting, dickhead.
Where you been, bro?
Can you reach out to his people? Like, you could leave Bianco alone, but can you reach out to his people?
There you go, JJ. Bianco and Rogan.
You dickhead. All right, so today...
Oh, there with the thumbs up, not the middle finger. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, so today, I believe that you got this for your birthday.
I think so.
From the Scissor Sisters.
I believe so.
Who hello, Scissor Sisters. We love you guys. Small batch family recipe since 1936. Oh, good for you. It's called Kindred. And it's a straight rye whiskey, which if you haven't fucking noticed, we like rye whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
Handmade, apparently. Oh, in a copper pot. So this is like old school shit.
Nice.
90 proof, 45%. From St. Petersburg, Florida. Well, fuck it, we're drinking this today.
Hell yeah. Well, he's pouring that, obviously, the shameless self-promotion. Shattered Wisdom on YouTube. Check us out, like, subscribe, share with your friends, let them all know about us. TikTok, Shattered Wisdom. Instagram, Shattered Wisdom Podcast. I am Shattered Wisdom _ Jack. He is Shattered Wisdom _ Jerett. Facebook, Shattered Wisdom. X, Shattered Wisdom. ShatteredWisdom.com. Floated bottle. Thank you, Scissor Sisters. We appreciate you.
Hey, you guys are 3 for 3, so keep that shit up. If you want to give us a bottle, and I don't think we talked about that enough. Like, hey, Dustin, who I lovingly call Dusty. I appreciate the shit out of that motherfucker.
Yeah, he gives us good whiskey.
He is and sends it to us, and you know, we've had a couple of people do that, and you know, Michelle gave us a bottle, and I got a whole section over there for my birthday of things that we need to break into. But
a smorgasbord.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, everybody who gave us a bottle just to give us a bottle because they appreciate what we're doing, man. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
Joey gave us a bottle already for when he comes on.
Yes.
Giuseppe. So, yeah, it's a Sunday evening. Don't mind me. So, cheers, brother.
Yeah. All right.
Spoiler alert. We know this is good.
Yeah. Wait. Is it so good? Yes, sir.
Fucking delicious. All right, you want to do the question?
Oh, we get a question.
You might as well. Closer to you, anyways.
You know, go gadget arms here. Alrighty, this is typed tiny.
Cool. And long.
Ooh. What role does fear play in your life, and how do you overcome it?
So, good question. Very good question. Probably a JJ one, I'm guessing.
It was typed, yes.
Yes. So she's pointing at herself and smiling. So
she's like, got him.
So here's the motherfucker.
Yeah, so we fear these questions, BTW.
I'm afraid of running out of these questions and not having a podcast anymore. So the thing about fear is fear can run your life if you let it. And that is in anything, right? So people have phobias. And if you have really bad anxiety or whatever, that could be a fear too. Like, you work yourself up because you think that something's going to happen. So anxiety ties hand in hand with fear.
Yes, sir.
So I obviously take medication to control my fucking crazy, but I've realized, man, and we talked about this on the podcast, that if you worry, like 90% of the shit doesn't even fucking happen, right? So like you work yourself up over nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And are there situations where you can be maybe not afraid but alert? Yeah. Like, you know, you don't have to be afraid every time you step out of your car to pump gas, but you should be paying attention to what's going on around you.
Sure.
And the way I get around fear is I carry a fucking gun everywhere I go. Like look, I by no means want to hurt anybody. I do not, but I'm going home to my family.
Well, that's a funny thing that you bring up there is that's one of the ways that you can deal with fear, and one of the ways that you can use fear in a positive manner is to be prepared for it.
You have to be you have to prepare, like always, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Yeah. Like that is the best advice that I can give, because not like there's bad people on the planet. There's people who want to hurt you. You could be driving next to a fucking serial killer and you don't know it. Like everybody's not a good person.
No, but fear is a good motivator if you use it the right way.
100%.
Like, we have to provide for our families.
Yeah.
When I will never forget, when I started at my company, I had to do well. I 100%. Had to have a career. This had to work. And it was partially my hard work ethic and all the stuff I've gotten in my life.
Right.
But there was a big fear component of it is, I don't have another option, and if I screw this up, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I was afraid of not being able to provide for my family, and went, okay, I let the hard work side overpower the fear side, but the fear is always there.
Right. Oh, because it's impending doom, right? Like, if you lost your job tomorrow, you're scrambling, and that goes for a lot of people. And a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and if your check doesn't clear, or if you don't fucking get paid on time or the right amount or whatever, and you're counting on that, like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, but even look at with Pop's passing, that sparks a new fear in you.
Yeah.
Right? The fear of not being there for your family, or your son not having the relationship with you that you had with your dad, and it sparked that in me. My dad calls now, I fucking answer.
Yeah.
He rambled the other day. He was quiet for 30 seconds, and I just sat there on the phone with him like, whenever you want to come back.
Yeah.
I used to get annoyed with that. Now I'm afraid of losing him.
Yeah.
And, like, that inspires me to, like, stick around, stick to it, like, push through it.
Well, in that aspect of fear, never really, there's no way to deal with that, right? Because there's an end.
Yeah.
There's an end, and you want to get as much love and time and appreciation in as you can, and especially now, like, you know, with everything that happened in my life, like, it kind of brings things into perspective for a lot of people. But you're always going to fear the day. Like,
sure.
But so on that aspect, I don't think you'll ever get over it.
Yep.
And you prepare for it the best you can. But I don't care if your dad's 107 and he dies. You're not going to be ready.
Oh no, not
like
at all.
you like, and that's why I said, like, during my thing, like, I'm very selfish in the fact that I wanted him here for me. You know, like, I don't want to let it go. You know, and I think as people, we're selfish in that aspect of. But what about me? What my time? I didn't this. I didn't that. I didn't have this. So I think that type of fear is always going to live in you. But what you need to do is be in front of it. You gotta be proactive and not reactive.
So I think there's fear in everything.
Oh, 100%.
Like going to the gym. I've hurt myself at the gym. I hurt myself when I used to go to the UFC gym. I got hurt at the UFC gym, like boxing, and not because somebody punched me. I got hurt at the UFC gym because, like, I was wrapping my hands wrong, and my hands started to hurt, and I really liked going to the gym, but then I couldn't because my hands hurt too bad. You know, I've pulled muscles, I've done stuff like that, so there's that little bit of fear. So now what do? I make sure I get there early, make sure I stretch, make sure I do this, and make sure, and it's something stupid. Right? I don't sit there and be like, oh my God, I'm so afraid that I'm going to get hurt at the gym today. I can't go. It doesn't overwhelm me, but I'm like, dude, just fucking prep for it. Yeah. And I think if you look at a lot of situations like that where you're fearful of something, okay, why do I feel like this? Right. What can I do to prepare myself? Like you said, I mean, you couldn't have said it any better. Like, what can I do to prepare myself for the best positive outcome? Yeah. Well, and people have the fear of flying. People have a fear of boats. I mean, you know, the two biggest fears, I think, on the planet are drowning and burning to death. I mean, like, those are the two biggest things that people are terrified of. Yep. So they, you know, or plane crashes or whatever, but you still need to travel. You still have to ride a plane sometimes, you know. So the steps that you take to get over that, whether you drink at the airport or you self-medicate or whatever, you know, and then every time that you get somewhere safely, you're like, what was I worried about? Yep. But it's the fear of the unknown, I think, is kind of the biggest fucking factor, man, is what happens next? What is this or what is that? Or, you know, like, you have no control. When you're in those situations, you have no control. Even driving down the fucking road, you have control of you. You don't have control of other people. Oh, yeah, that car next to you could wipe you out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right now. You know, and I think that we are concerned about the wrong things a lot of the time. Yeah. You know, we're looking at the big things, you know, like, I could get eaten by a shark. Like, all right, 7 people a year get eaten by a shark. Yeah, you could. You're more likely, though, to get in a fucking car accident. Yeah, 1,000%, but people don't look at it like that. No. You know, they're like, oh, I can't go in the ocean because there's sharks. Like, yeah. There's also drunk drivers on the fucking road. Like, at 10 o'clock in the morning, somebody's fucking hammered. Oh, yeah. Like you just don't know. So, I think that, stop worrying about the wrong things. Yeah. You are not going to go a minute before you're supposed to. No. You know, and my dad was very, very firm on that too, and he always said, you know, nobody makes it out of this life alive. So, fuck no. So I took a lot from that, man, and you know, obviously it affected me, and I was not ready for it, and I didn't. Sure. It wasn't even on my radar to be afraid of. Yeah.
But now, like now I'm like, hey, I got to take care of myself, and I got to make sure that my friends are taking care of themselves. And it's a lot of like, hey man, if you feel weird, maybe you go to urgent care or call a doctor,
Yeah.
So it's a lot of prep. It's preparation now. It's what can you do to avoid putting yourself in a situation.
Absolutely. And we talked about this on a very recent podcast too about instincts.
Yes.
You're an animal. You have instincts. Fear is one of your fucking instincts.
Yeah.
It's the fight or flight, however you want to say it.
Right.
Like fear is one of your instincts. It's there for a reason. It's like pain. You know why stuff hurts?
Yeah.
Because it's your body saying, hey, dude, don't fucking do that again.
Hey, that was probably not something we should do again.
Yeah, that's fire, and it hurts.
Yeah, that shit burns.
So when you're afraid of something, it's your natural instinct. It's okay to be afraid of stuff. It's just, do you let it control you, or do you let it motivate you?
Right. So, like, being afraid of heights, right? Like, I get it. You're not going to climb the outside of a skyscraper, but inside of the skyscraper, you should find comfort in knowing that thing is over-engineered. Like, you should be able to look out at it and be amazed by the things that people build instead of being terrified that you're going to fall off a building. Like, you're not going to do that, don't worry.
I do a lot of public speaking, and I'll brag a little bit about myself. I'm an excellent public speaker.
Yeah.
I have a big vocabulary. I don't mind if it's 5 people or 500 people. I've literally spoken in front of probably 750 people. And I have no problem. And a lot of people in my organization are like, dude, how do you do it? How come you're not afraid? And I go, that's where you're wrong. I'm terrified.
Yeah.
I go, beforehand, my hands are shaking. I'm like, ooh, shit. You get that, like, nervous energy. I'm like, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I just use it differently. I prep for it. I know it's going to happen. I know I'm going to get nervous. I need to get through the first, like, minute. Yeah. And then after that, I'm like, okay, then I don't sit there and the thoughts of failure and fumble and embarrassment aren't in my mind. Right. That's not what I think about. I think about what I'm going to say.
Right.
Not about what could happen.
Yeah.
You just
run with it. You just go.
Yeah, it's like anything else.
Yeah. But, and if you're afraid of something, man, I'm not telling you don't be afraid. I'm not calling you a bitch or anything, but I'm just saying, like, if you let yourself get into a panic, you're wearing yourself 90% of the time over nothing. So, all right. So, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Oh, we are talking about toxic positivity.
Yeah. So, not toxic masculinity.
No,
but it's in the same neighborhood.
Yeah. So, we started talking about this, and Jarrett and I fired off down our rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I Googled toxic positivity.
Yeah. We are using Google this year.
And what we interpret as toxic positivity and what some folks on the interweb believe toxic positivity is two different things. So Jarrett and I believe that toxic positivity, and we're going to go all the way back to fucking episode number 1.
Yeah, the first one. And if you've been riding with us, you know.
Fuck participation trophies.
Yeah, the participation trophies are toxic.
That's our idea of toxic positivity. Now, somebody else here on the interwebs says that toxic positivity is like telling somebody to toughen up. That's like telling somebody to stop whining.
I need to go back to the 90s and tell my parents they're being assholes.
To get over it. It could be worse.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that's tough love.
And it could be worse is the most accurate fucking saying on the planet. Like you think your life is so bad, man, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Like, I promise you that there's somebody out there who wishes and prays that they had your fucked up life.
But I would say, like telling somebody it could be worse is kind of a really dismissive term.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it could be worse. Like, I don't want to have this fucking conversation. It could be worse. Figure your shit out.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Right.
But in my mind, toxic positivity is participation trophies.
Yeah, and that's how we started this fucking podcast, man. And we feel very passionately about this.
This is a little over a year back in, and we're still fucking holding true to that.
No, I haven't changed my mind.
No.
You can still try to cancel me. That's fine.
Yeah, and I tell you what, my oldest daughter is playing volleyball right now in like, we'll call it like a rec league.
Okay. Well, that's why they let anybody in if you pay money.
Dude, anybody comes in, and there are... My daughter just got on the Premier Club team.
Okay.
But she's also playing in this rec league.
Okay, so you see both sides.
I see both sides, and I'm going to be totally biased.
Hmm?
My daughter, probably one of the best players on the team.
Okay.
But I told her too. I go, dude, you're on a club team, and this team,
Yeah.
you fucking dominate.
Yeah.
You get after every ball. You do everything you're supposed to. I don't care if they don't.
Right.
You fucking perform.
Yeah, they're not my kid.
They're not my kid.
Yeah.
But that being said, in these rec leagues, we clap for everybody after every play. Whatever team gets a point,
So your girls are standing there, ball hits the ground, clapping.
statues. I don't. I don't fucking clap. And everybody's like, good job, good try. And they stop, and everybody get a high five. Everybody high five, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, don't fucking do it.
And this is why every kid thinks that they're entitled to something.
Yes, that's my idea of toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Is just flooding people with,
Right.
you're so good, you're so great, and never exposing them to failure.
So I went in to the dog training place today, and I was talking to Kevin and good dog, all this shit, and the guy goes, you have kids? And I said, yeah. He said, I can tell. He said, with kids, you want to give them all this positive affirmation, like you're doing great, all this shit. He's like, for your dog, no.
No.
Yes, no, sit, shake. If you don't fucking do it, punishment. Like there's a thing. Like you are good, you get a reward. You are bad, you get fucking shocked, or you get your collar pulled, or whatever. Like there's a reason that dogs listen better than people's fucking children.
Yeah. And your dog Kevin, right now is 100+ pounds.
Oh yeah, easy.
He's gonna be
big.
170.
Probably.
For those of you who don't know, he's a Cane Corso.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. He's lovely. I fucking love your dog.
He's a big dummy.
I go to the garage to get a beer, and I will spend a couple minutes in there with Kevin.
Yeah, he's
smacking
a fucking,
around and petting him. Ella loves him. He loves all of us.
Yeah.
But he has the capacity to murder everyone in this house efficiently.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like, he would take me out. Like that. Oh, yeah. Like, he opens his mouth. His mouth could probably bite my fucking whole head. He's got the biggest fucking mouth on the planet, dude.
But you have to be the alpha.
I have to. Yeah.
And you establish, this is good and this is bad, motherfucker.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right.
And he goes, okay.
So along those lines, is he said, if you tell your dog, get off the couch, and it doesn't get off the couch, and you just say, whatever, never mind. Now your dog forms a behavior.
Yeah.
Your children do the same fucking thing.
It's like a pattern behavior.
If you tell them something, they don't fucking listen, and then you let it go, your kids are now like, I can fucking get over on you. I don't have to do what you say. So it's the same thing. Like if you tell these kids, like, oh, you're doing so good. No, hey. Like, I keep it real with Hunter, man. I've had some conversations like, bro, you fucking suck.
Yeah. I told Ella, but they played their first 3 games. They got decimated.
Yeah.
And I mean, they got beat. And I looked at her, we left. I'm like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
And she's like, Dad, I said, I know. Yeah. But as a team.
Yeah, as a team? Yeah.
You suck. You're terrible. You lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, but I go, well, but nothing.
Yeah, no, we were all there.
You're fucking bad. Yeah. And she's like, well, we didn't do this. And she listed all the things they did wrong. I'm like, I'm glad you're aware of that.
100% that you know, yeah.
The wife and I said, we're not coaching this year. And I paced the sidelines. I'm sure everybody's like, who is this fucking psycho with his arms crossed? And I didn't say anything. And I'm just glaring at everyone. And I'm just like, oh, you fucking called out.
Yeah.
But you need to know in a professional setting.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing we said with fucking participation trophies. You are not raising children. You are raising adults. And I'm not saying that negative reinforcement is the way, but they need to know.
It can't all be negative.
Yeah. But they need to know, like, hey.
Hey, good, bad.
Good and bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And that's why you get all these fucking assholes who are protesting in the streets and running amok. They do a thing called the LA takeover, where they take over the streets in LA and they're doing fucking burnouts and crazy shit, and then they just shut fucking streets down, like, with zero worry of repercussions. There was a fucking United Rentals truck on there the other day.
I saw that. That dude was out there fucking getting after it.
I got so many texts like, hey, man. I'm like, nah, dude, that's not me.
That's not me.
No, that's stupid.
He's a gen rent, so we don't do that shit on my side.
We don't do that shit on my side.
But this toxic positivity, this is what it leads to.
Yes.
It leads to entitlement.
Yeah.
It leads to, well, you can't fucking talk to me like that. Yeah, I fucking can, because I am paying you as an employee for a service.
Right.
If you go to Starbucks and you tell them I want a fucking mocha choco latte frappuccino, and they just give you a black cup of coffee, you're going to be like, oh, what the fuck? And they're like, well, I tried.
Yeah.
You're going to say, give me your manager, and you're going to throw a fucking fit.
Yes.
And you're going to elevate it to where it needs to get the results that you wanted.
Right.
Whereby, if you work for me, I expect you to provide these results. Period.
I expect these results before I come in and have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing is a lot of people get by on, like, well, when it becomes a problem, I'll look at it then. But I've always worked like, I'm going to make sure there's no fucking problems, because I don't want somebody to come in here and fucking chew my ass or have something to say to me.
Yeah.
And if I do fuck up, and I've fucked up many times, I'll have an answer.
We're working through an issue right now at work. And
do the people at work listen?
Some of them.
Hello, some people over there.
But we're working through an issue, and it's an issue with a vendor of ours.
Okay. Well, because you have vendors who have lied to you about ordering materials and fucking...
Yeah. I've been there and done that. They say things, and I'm like, pull the other leg and plays Jingle Bells, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, but before we had this meeting, I sat down with my team and my other counterpart, and we're like, we need to be educated on everything.
Right.
And we went through everything front, back, and back to front. So we know we have our bases covered.
Yes.
We sat down and had a meeting, and everybody started getting real quiet. And I was the kid in class that if the teacher asked a question and no one answered it, I answered it. Not because I'm a brown noser, because we need to move shit along.
Because we need to get it going. Yeah.
So we had some real quiet times, and I started going, and then I started getting hot, and then I started losing my temper, and I started motherfucking people, and I started, like, getting after folks, and they were all sitting there like, oh. It was funny. We had somebody that was in the meeting, and afterwards they were like, Jack, like, I really liked the way that you did that. And you didn't get really upset. Like, you set the tone, you were aggressive, and you made your point, and you were angry, but they had nothing that they could argue back with.
Right. Yeah, what are they going to say?
And I said, that's because I fight with facts.
Yes. You can't fight facts.
You can't fight facts. And
hey,
I have
per
the
this
fucking
email
facts. Yeah.
right fucking here, you said, don't worry about it, I'll handle it.
And I've got them all written out right there.
So, here's a binder, everything's color coordinated.
And by the way, you fucked this up.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it was a group of professional, 35 and up folks that have probably been raised the right way, when I've been fed all this fucking bullshit. Well, like, I gotta leave the meeting because you can't talk to me like that. They stayed in the meeting. We talked through it, but I fucking kept the pressure on them and held it to them.
Yeah.
And afterwards, one of them called me and he's like, I really want to thank you for having that meeting and how you presented everything. The person's whom's ass was getting chewed called me and said, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you for educating all of us on really what was going on. That gentleman was an older gentleman who's been raised differently, been around, wasn't just fed this positive, everything, you're okay all the time.
Yeah.
That person would have called back and been like, well, I don't know what you mean. Why did you say that?
Well, and here's the thing, too, right? It's different. It's never personal.
No, it's factual.
It's facts. So a lot of the younger generation now, and sorry if you're one of these fucking assholes, but hey, sorry for you.
Yeah,
a lot of these younger generations take everything personally.
Yes.
And it has nothing to do... I'm not asking you to reach into your pocket and pay for your mistakes yourself. I'm letting you know that your company said X, Y, and Z, and you did X and Y. Now you have to come to the table with Z or a solution.
Yeah.
Like, this has nothing to do with you as Jack, as a person. Like, you're just on a project. You're just a dude. Yeah. You're just the fucking figurehead. Like, that's in this meeting. It's not personal. I'm not motherfucking you specifically, unless you fucking really fuck something up. But no, this is a meeting about facts, and we can go out 2 hours later and grab a fucking drink. Like, I have no problems. I've been in meetings, dude, where people are just getting fucking lit up, and then I'm like, Hooters? And then everybody's like, fuck yeah, I could use some wings and a beer right now. Yeah.
I need a beer. And you know what they'll do is after that, they'll sit down and be like, you know what, dude, you were fucking right.
Yeah, dude, hey, man, we fucked this up, man. But hey, we can agree that I fucked up, but we're going to fix this. And this is how, X, Y, and Z, we're going to do this.
But that's a good representation of somebody that's gotten the negative side.
Yes.
As well as the positive. Yeah. That's the thing that people don't understand is, like, teaching somebody or exposing your children and all that to the negative side, they go, oh, that's the other part of this?
Right.
It could be like this. If you're always positive all the time, that's all they think. Oh, it's always going to be like this.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to the podcast that probably came out last week is if all your times are good times, you don't know the bad times. So if you're only getting fucking praised for being shitty and then you grow up and somebody tells you that you're fucking shitty, you feel terrible because you're like, no, like I'm perfect.
Yeah.
My mom told me I was great.
That's the standard.
Yeah, that's the standard.
What is the statement? Easy times breed weak men. Weak men breed
hard times.
Hard times breed strong men. Strong men breed
easy times.
Yeah. It's simple, but it's effective, and it's right, and it's true, and it's all those kind of things. Like, look, if you're afraid to yell at your parents, or their parents, excuse me, your children, or discipline your children, what are they going to do when they get into the workforce with someone like me?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm 43. I'm going to keep growing in my managerial role.
Yeah.
And our children, my daughter's friends, or my daughter's age, or Hunter's age, are eventually going to come work.
They're going to get into our work environments for sure. Yes.
And by the way, I'm not fucking changing.
No.
And I'm not really changing to meet you. You got to change to meet me. And if I wasn't your dad or your parent, and you come to me with some horseshit idea or something you've done or screwed up, I'm going to lay it out for you how I would for everyone.
Right. So here's what I'm going to put out into fruition for children in the next 10 to 15 years, because I'm still going to be working. I'm 37. Like, unless I win the fucking lottery, man, I'm still going to be working. You know, when my kid and his friends get into the workforce, I'm going to tell you what my dad told me. I will help you to my best ability.
Yeah.
But you do not use my name to get ahead in life. You build your own fucking name. And I used to tell my dad that all the time. Like, people ask me if I'm Dave's son. There'll be a day when they ask you if you're Jared's dad. Yeah. Like that was my real turning point in this industry is I made a name for myself. You know, like I got out from under my dad's shadow, and you know, and for our kids, we want the best for our kids, but tough love, man. Like, I'm gonna do what my dad did. Like like that was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Your dad and my dad are the same way.
Yeah, no, like, and look at us, we're successful.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some science to it, man, because the harder you work, the luckier you get. I mean, like...
But my dad helped me get the job I'm in right now.
Yeah, my dad helped me get this job.
And my dad told me, I'm going to get you a foot in the door.
Yeah.
And you're going to do everything else. And I said, okay. And he said, by the way, don't you ever fucking call me for a favor.
Yeah.
And I've had people be like, hey, can't you just call your dad? I'm like, no. They're like, why not? I'm like, we have a deal.
Dude, I used to not get invited to events and shit because people were like, fucking, they didn't like my dad. And they're like, oh, you're gonna fucking tell on us and do it. I'm like no. Like, that's not how this shit works, man. Like,
you tell me, you know what? My dad respects me.
Yeah.
And he respects me enough to let me make myself in this industry. And if that's something you're being held up on, that's a you problem,
that's a you
not
problem.
A me problem.
And that's why none of those motherfuckers work at my old company where they all got fucking let go. But you know, I was given an opportunity to go to another company where my old boss works, and I said, I told the guy, I said, if you let him go, I'll come over.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me see. And I'm like, no. Like,
yeah, that's just, I'm just seeing what I can get here.
No, I don't. I'm like, I don't need to have the ability to control anybody else's outcome. Like, it's a me problem. It's not a you problem. Yeah. Like, I don't like him, so I won't work with him. That has nothing to do with you guys in your company.
What if they do a good job for you at your company? Fine.
Oh, I'll never leave.
Let them thrive.
No,
but if it's somebody, that's what I'm saying. If it's somebody that you don't like, you're the type of person where you're like, oh, are they doing a good job for you? Then keep them.
Yeah.
I don't need to go there. No. I don't need to fuck with their livelihood. Keep them. I'm doing my own thing, and I'm doing great, and everybody loves me here.
Yeah.
Keep them. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
So Hunter, my 9-year-old, tells me the other day, he said, you know what the best revenge is, Dad? I said, what? He said, success.
Oh, I fucking... JJ, bring him in here. I'm going to kiss him on the head.
I was like, 100%, dude. Like, And I told him, like life, not everybody's gonna like you, and he's on the soccer team, and he plays club, and he's not the best player on his team, and at 9 everybody's talking shit, and I'm like, hey, you all fucking suck.
Yeah,
your whole team got beat.
Yeah. Major League Soccer isn't like grooming you.
Yeah.
But that's another one of my favorite sayings is that success is the best revenge.
Yeah. Oh, dude, and for me, I'm doing better than most people that I know, and most people that have maybe not given me a hard time in life, but people tell you like you're not gonna amount to shit, like I'm gonna be better than you, and I'm at this and I'm at that, and I'm like, okay, and I don't flaunt my shit, and I don't but I know that I'm doing pretty good, man, and I'm fucking happy in life, and I got a beautiful wife and a nice house and good friends and a fucking 9-year-old son like who's fucking awesome, like I'm happy.
Yeah, you're killing it.
But it's those hard fucking life lessons, man, like that you gotta eat. Like I had to eat a lot of shit to get where I am.
But those are teachable moments.
Yes.
And the nice thing about that, like success being the best revenge.
Yeah.
That is my favorite teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love nothing more than succeeding and then letting somebody come to their own realization, and then you see them at some point and they're like, dude.
Yeah.
You're doing real well. And I go, you know what? Thank you.
My dad used to say...
And leave it at that.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, but inside I'm like, fuck yeah!
My dad used to say, fucking, keep your head down and keep grinding.
Uh-huh.
And he said, one of these days, these motherfuckers are going to work for you. And it's true. Like, I could be in positions where I manage people who managed me.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to be fucking happy. I'm going to give it right back to you.
But that's one of those things where you sit there and they come in and they look at you and they go, oh, fuck.
So I've talked to my boss and I've said, hey, if we buy some companies, man, there's some guys I need you to let me fire. He's like, bring him my own list.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we have the similar understanding of people who made it very far in this industry by knowing nothing. Because that happens, dude. Like, the biggest pieces of shit that you've ever met in your whole life could be your boss. And it's because they promote themselves well, or they sell themselves good, or they talk themselves up, or, a lot of things. And I'm not that guy who's going to be like, I'm great. I'm the perfect fucking choice. I'm like, no, I'm good enough, dude. I'll get you what you want. What do you need? You need this? I'll get you that. All right, for sure. Like, no problem.
I had somebody at work recently tell me, what is your brand? And I was, I said, what? And they said, what's your brand? You need to work on your brand. And I said, I don't have a brand.
Yeah.
I go to work to do a good job, to deliver a good product, to make sure we all succeed and to move forward. And they said, yeah, but I mean, you need to develop your brand. And I remember sitting there and being taken so aback, like, what do you mean I have to develop my own brand? Like, I'm just going to do a good job.
Right.
And it's your job as upper management to realize that, hey, this guy's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Because like you, I hate to talk about myself. I hate to brag. I hate to boast. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that. Like, build a brand. I remember just sitting there and I'm like, I have too much time on my commute home to think about things. And I'm trying to like build a brand. Like, I'm trying not to rear end this guy in front of me.
100%.
Build a brand? It just struck me as being so strange. Like, whatever happened to like, be a hard worker, stand up for yourself. That's the other thing I think.
Yeah, that's lost.
Don't be that person that just thinks like, I'm just going to work myself to death, and they're going to realize like, they're not going to do that.
Dude, you're not a punching bag.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to like stand up and talk about yourself. But if you're just always, I'm fucking Jack, I'm so great, I this, I that.
That means you know nothing.
And after a while, people are going to pull your card and go, fine, show it. And you go, oh, well.
Hey, I got this problem. And you're the subject matter expert. How would you handle this?
How do we do it? And you go,
well, what do you think? So here's the best advice that I've ever gotten and that I can give to the younger generation. And if you listen, fucking please understand that this is the truest thing in life, and you will never be upset that you took this advice. The people you surround yourself with is who you are.
Yep.
You have to fucking separate yourself from people who are going nowhere. People who don't have goals and ambitions. If you surround yourself with successful people, you will be successful. Like, that's all the people I hang out with are more successful than me or as successful as me. And drives me to do better.
But you know what? The people that we surround ourselves with hold us to it.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no fucking... Yeah.
Unabashedly, hey, we're all doing this.
Yeah.
And if you go, well, like this, and they go, why?
Why? Yeah. Chris Fowler, dude.
Chris Fowler. I keep thinking about him, but there's a lot of us. I'll pull your card. You'd be like, dude, I go, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
And you go, well,
yeah.
And you said a couple things. Well, why did you do this, Jack? And I'm like, fuck, he's fucking right.
Yeah.
Like,
and you need people to hold you accountable. Not the people who are like, hey, call out of work so we can go to Disneyland and spend all the money that we have. Like, no, fuck that. Don't be that person. Don't get suckered into that. There's a time for fun, 100%. But if you're trying to build your empire, a really good friend of mine, his name is Mike Dreyer. I work with him, actually. He's the one who trained me in my job. He said when I was saving to buy a house, he bought a house in like 2008, 2009 when the market crashed. He said all my friends would call me and say, hey, we're going out. You coming out tonight? And he said, no. I'm saving money for a house. He had his goals and he knew exactly what he wanted. And he didn't go out and he didn't waste money on stupid shit. And he didn't fucking, he lived in an apartment and he was like, I'm going to buy a house. I need, X amount of dollars to put down. And that's what the fuck he did.
You know why? Because he didn't feed into fucking toxic positivity. Yeah. Toxic positivity is what leads you into bad habits.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to save up for your house. Oh, man,
It's only one night, man.
Come on out.
Yeah.
There was a book. I'll look it up. There was a book that I listened to by a Navy SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about he called it something like complacency tiger or something. There's this tiger. Temptation tiger.
Okay.
And Temptation Tiger's sitting there with a glass of whiskey and a cigar, going, "Hey man, come on, just take it easy.
Yeah.
I know you're in Bud's training. You've been working so hard. No, sleep in a couple extra hours.
Right.
Come in and do this." And he goes, and he's in a smoking jacket with a cigar and a glass of whiskey, and he looks all smooth and all this. And you look at him and go, "Oh man, that looks great."
The easy road is easy to take.
Yeah.
The easy road is very easy to take. It's the hard road that you have to put in time and effort and fucking get beat down. Like, dude, I've been fucked up and beat down and told I wasn't shit and all these things. And I took them as learning experiences.
That's right, because toxic positivity will always blind you into the easy fucking road.
So I met a guy on this cruise I was on, a real quick sidestep, who read the book that you read.
The Comfort Crisis?
The Comfort Crisis. He was like, you should read that book. It's great.
It's fantastic.
And I was like, and he's like, my son is going to start reading this book. He's like, it is such a good book. So if you're looking for a good audiobook, if you drive, if it's Tuesday and you listen to Shattered Wisdom on Monday and you have nothing to listen to, hey, that's probably not a bad book because, my son's friendly and he makes friends and then I got to talk to their parents and, and you run out of things to talk about with people you don't have anything fucking... Go outside and die, Jack. You got one more?
You were just going to start saying my son makes friends.
So I'm talking to this guy, who really nice guy. His name's Roy. He's in Idaho, and so I said, "Oh, Idaho, huh? What do you like to hunt?" And he said, "Oh, I like to hunt everything." Bless you.
Thank you.
And I'm like, everything. He's like, yeah, dude, I got a whitetail tag this year, and fucking, I'm like, hey, so that is an interesting topic that I can talk for days about with fucking random people because it's something that I do now. And he brought up the Comfort Crisis, and I was like, you hunt, know.
Yeah.
So
no, but the Comfort Crisis is great because it'll make you reevaluate your life.
Yes, and what's important to you.
But what the Comfort Crisis did is it provides a different perspective.
Yeah.
About how we've gotten to where we've gotten.
All right.
And it talks about some of the similar things that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at yourself and looking at life and how you interpret different things.
Yeah.
It'll help guide you through that.
Yeah, 100%. So, toughen up is now bad. It's a bad saying. Parents don't yell discipline because they don't want to hurt kids' feelings. So I, personally, tell my son, I'm your dad. I'm not your friend. I love you to death, but there's a hierarchy here. Like, there's a fucking chain of command in this motherfucker. Like, you are 9. You don't get to talk back. You don't get to fucking do whatever you want. you are my child, and if you're fucking annoying me, I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up, and if you're being bad, I'm gonna fucking tell you, like, hey, get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate, and you are too, that our kids are good enough to, you know, and they're kids. You can't expect them to never be out of line. But our kids are good enough when you say, hey, knock that shit off. They're like, oh, fuck. Sorry.
Well, and my oldest is the pleaser, the rule follower, and all that. But she's 13. Mm-hmm. And now she's starting to, like...
Test the waters?
Test some waters.
Did you test them?
And, she's testing them. And every now and then she'll do something or she'll say something and I'll go, hey, dude, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
And she'll turn and look at me like...
Yeah, surprise.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're not above getting your ass chewed.
No.
And I'll never forget, it was a couple years ago. I forget what she did. She did something. She gave us a whole load of attitude. And I did what you said. And I said, look, I'm your fucking dad. I'm not your friend. And I said, don't you ever think you're above getting your ass whooped.
Yeah, you're not.
And she went, ooh.
Yep.
And it was a Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah. Computer's frozen. Reset.
System reset. And I see it in her eyes and she went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a real funny story. My mom is 5'1", 95 pounds. Mm-hmm. Always been 5'1", 95 pounds for as long as I've known her. I was 15, and of course I was like, I don't know, 5'7".
World by the balls.
118 pounds.
Yeah.
Little beanpole, and I mouthed off to her, and I turned around, and she said, turn around. And as I turned around, she was coming with a slap. And as I turned around, I turned into the slap.
Yeah.
Blah! And she hit me right across the face. And it wasn't hard.
No.
But she's
a tiny person.
She's a tiny person, but she hit me, and I was like...
It's a system reset.
Oh, and it was. Yeah. It was a hard reset.
Like,
and I literally went,
shit.
And I remember I'm looking at her, and she put her bony finger with that sharp-ass long nail in my face, and she said, don't you ever walk away when I'm talking to you, and don't you ever give me that attitude again.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I remember, and I went, no, I did. I went, yes, ma'am. And she went, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. In her Boston accent.
Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I just... She didn't tell me where to go. I just left the room. And I walked
out of here.
But I remember I walked up in my room and I got up there and I was like, what am I doing here?
Right.
Like, but she literally reset me, and like a couple hours later I was like, hey, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
And she went, uh-huh. And you're not going to do that again, are you? And I went, no, ma'am. I will never do that again. I apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, and like it was just like a reestablishment of dominance.
Mm-hmm. So Hunter's a sly little motherfucker, man. So we used to give Hunter one cuss word a week, right? like because I mean, like he hears it, dude. Like I'm really bad at
Me
that.
too.
And I understand. And I was a kid. I was his age, dude. And I know that you go to school and you cuss and you call people bitch and all this shit. Like I get it. You're gonna do it. You're just gonna do it out of earshot. However, this little motherfucker, man, we're on the cruise. I'm like, hey, knock your fucking shit off. And he goes, okay, Dad, I'll knock my shit off. I'm like, oh, you little dickhead. But no, dude, like, I mean, for the most part, I mean, he knows right from wrong. He knows good and bad. He knows where the fuck he should be. And he knows that, yes, I love him to death, but you don't run amok. You don't get to fucking be that kid. And dude, like, I couldn't be more proud of this kid, dude. And I'm gonna take a dad moment. The teacher who ran the kids club wrote me and JJ a letter about how sweet Hunter is and how good he is and how smart he is, you know, and I don't know where he gets that. I'm a dumb as a fucking rock, but the kid's goddamn genius. He's fucking super smart.
He is very smart.
So he won a trivia 25. The closest person to him was 6.
Oh, fuck.
So like we're walking around the boat and kids are like, "That's Hunter, Mom. That's Hunter." And the parents are like, "My kids say your kid's a genius." Like so proud dad moment, right? Like I'm super proud of him because he's on his tablet, but I tell him watch educational shit. And the kid can play chess, and he can tell you every soccer stat on the planet. I mean, like, he could tell you every player. I mean, he fucks around on Roblox and does all the other things like kids do. But he also has no problem with any. Like, he missed 2 weeks of school. I'm like, all right, here's your fucking homework, and he has no problem doing his homework. So and then when his teacher wrote that note or whatever from Kids Club, and she was just like, he's such a joy. Like, I wish I could have more like him. Like, he's the best kid I've dealt with. Blah 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 blah. It's a proud parent moment, you know, like, because he's not out there fucking around, running amok, and being a dickhead. You know, like, I know when I drop him off, he's on his best behavior.
Yeah, because he understands
the
negative side.
Yeah, I'll whoop his ass. But that's the thing is if you let your kids run amok, and there was kids on the boat who just ran amok and fucking... You gotta understand, when you drop your fucking kids off for somebody else to watch, and your kids are fucking terrible for you, they're gonna be 10 times more terrible for this fucking other person.
Oh, if they don't respect you, you are the primary disciplinary unit or whatever, and they're not gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
Fuck that. My favorite thing, and this is one of the things we have here, is toughen up. One of my
that was my favorite thing. Like, every time that you cry, like, hey, I tell Hunter to get your shit together. Get it together.
Get together, dude.
Yeah. Hey, pain's temporary. You'll be fine. Look at me. I tell him, look at me. Breathe. Does it still hurt?
Do I do the same thing? Breathe. Look at me.
Yeah. Does it still hurt? Yeah. Okay. Does crying make it better? No. Then stop crying and let's fucking figure out a solution.
But I love telling my girls, what are you going to do?
Or want me to cut it off?
You want us to cut out? We do that all the time. Kendra, get the saw. But Ella was like, I'm not doing really well in history, and I'm worried about this test I have coming up.
She's a worried body. Like,
she's a worried wart.
But she wants to be the best. She wants to do the best. And you gotta love that as a parent, that your kid wants to be to school every day. Like, she has perfect attendance. She wants to... We were on vacation. We were at the fucking cabin, and she was like, hey, I gotta go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, I had to drive her ass down the mountain to go to fucking school.
But you, as a parent, like, you have to see that as such a great thing for your kid.
Yes.
And that's a reflection of you. Your kids are a direct reflection of you. If your kid's a piece of shit, guess what? You're a piece of shit.
Yeah. But I love to tell her, she goes, I have a C in history. And I go, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Didn't she come in today and say she got a B? Did she raise it? Yeah.
Because she did it. But I love, that's my favorite thing to do with her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm worried about this. And I just go, first of all, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Because it makes
you can fix it.
It makes them think. And I go, by the way, this is your life, child.
Yeah.
And we've told our kids this. When you're in school, your job is school.
That's it.
And
that's
your
all
job,
you have to do.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. And your job when you get out of school is going to be your job.
Yeah.
But right now, your job is school.
Yeah.
So you're going to figure it out. And
focus on this, and that's it.
Well, I'm worried about this. What are you about? Well, I need to study more. Okay, then go study.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Turn off your TV.
Yeah.
Stop hanging out with your friends. Stop whatever you're doing, and go study.
Don't come to me with a problem only. Come to me with a problem. That's fine. Come to me with a solution as well.
Yeah. Dude, like, 100%. Like, all the time I'm like, hey, what do you need me to do? What do you need from me? You know, and Hunter's 9, you know, and a lot of kids his age have cell phones and shit. And he's like, I want a phone. And I'm like, who the fuck are you going to text? Like, me and your mom? Like,
dude, Charlie said the same thing. She goes, I want an iPhone 15. I'm like, I don't have an iPhone 15.
I don't have an iPhone 15. I've got a 12 and a 10.
She go, my friend has I don't give a fuck about your friend.
Yeah.
You are my primary concern.
Yeah. By the way, my son leaves his shit laying around everywhere.
Oh, dude.
Like, where's my phone? I don't know. JJ can't even fucking find her phone half the time.
No. I'm not going to do it.
So, genuine optimism.
That's the new term.
Okay.
So that's when I was Googling the old
fucking toxic positivity.
The other thing was genuine optimism. So this is what it says. So if you say you'll get over it, that's what someone considers toxic positivity.
Okay.
Genuine optimism, their response is, you are so resilient and your strength will get you through it.
So I tell everybody who I work with, like, I'm an HR nightmare. Right? Not because I'm a piece of shit, not because I'm a bad dude, but because I'm not playing by your fucking rules. I'm not that guy who's gonna be sensitive around you, and I'm not gonna fucking hit you with sexual harassment, but I'm not gonna not say, like, hey, fuck this or fuck that because you have sensitive ears. Toughen up, bitch. We're in the fucking construction industry, and if you can't handle me saying, hey, this is fucking bullshit, don't go to a job site. Because you're going to get fucking chewed up and spit out. These dudes on job sites will fucking eat you alive.
Oh, yeah. And they don't care.
They don't care. Bro, you're another person. You're another body. It does not matter who you are. And I've been fucking lit up, dude. And like,
oh yeah,
like I've taken everything as learning experience because I've been, bro. Like when I was a young salesman and I thought I knew what was what, dude. I go onto a job site and they have problems that I can't solve, and I have no problem telling you, I don't know, man. I gotta ask somebody. Like I'm very realistic. I'm not gonna sell you on some fucking dream that is not possible. I'm gonna tell you like who. But I've been fucking lit up like, you're the fucking short. How the fuck you don't know what the fuck? And I'm like, hey man, like I don't know everything. Yeah. I don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers, but I know where to get them, and I'll go get them, and I'll bring them back to you. I will figure this out for you. But at this moment in time, I don't know, and I'm not gonna tell you like yeah, you should do this because then that's my name. Then it's me on the line. I'd much rather tell you like, hey man, I gotta go fucking back to the board and see what'll work and what tabs out. And there's a lot of things in construction that you're dealing with life and death, man. You're dealing with fucking like real shit that affects people's lives. And I'm not giving you a fucking bullshit answer because I want to save face. No, I will tell you, I'm very, very open and honest. Hey man, I don't know. Hey, let me go see. Let me read the tab data. Let me call somebody else who knows. There's a bunch of dudes who've been doing this longer than me. Let me fucking find out. And dudes on a job site, at first, they don't want to hear that.
No.
They want fucking answers. They want a fucking resolution. You do yourself a disservice by giving them what they want. You cannot just give in to everybody. And that's the thing, too. Like, if you're not used to being yelled at and you're like, you cower, and you're like, oh, use this. Like, no, you'll fucking kill somebody. In our line of business, you'll fucking kill somebody, and that you don't come back from that, and you don't recover from that, and that's it. In especially me as a sales guy, I know my products better than the guy who's using them, and I have to give you a solution because if I give you the wrong solution and one of your guys dies, it's on me.
See, that's the thing that people don't understand. Is that if you or I make a bad call and you put somebody in harm's way and they get hurt or killed, we go to jail.
We go to jail.
And like that's why
it's like this, like involuntary manslaughter. You get fucking especially now in the construction world, you do fucking 8 years. I mean, like you're doing real fucking. You killed somebody.
Oh, Google it. It happens.
Yeah. No, dude, it's fucking real.
But that's part of this. If it's all positive all the time and you don't expose anybody to the negative side of things, they don't understand the ramifications. They don't understand the ramifications go way above them.
Can you imagine if you're the kind of person who grew up told that you're perfect and you don't make any mistakes, and you're in front of a judge because you killed somebody, and you're like, well, I don't understand. And the judge is like, 10 years. You're going to go to fucking prison and be so naive to the fucking world. Like, the problem is that we make our kids so naive to the outside world. Yeah. You can love and cater to your fucking kid. I'm not going to. Your kid comes to work for me, I'm a motherfucking till the fucking cows come home, bitch. Yes. I don't fucking care. Because if you fuck up, I fuck up. And if you fuck me up and my family and we don't eat, bro, I'll light your fucking ass on fire.
Yeah, that's a you problem now.
That is a you fucking problem.
You created the problem for both of us, and you are going to solve it, whether you fucking know how to or not.
Just be fucking careful out there, man. If you don't have the answers, don't make one up.
No.
I will get back to you. Yeah. I promise you, they are going to be mad. Oh, fucking 1,000% they're going to be mad in that fucking second, right? And they might use it against you because I'm in sales, so they're like, well, if I call this other company, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to put you in a bad fucking situation to make myself look good. And if you're listening to this fucking podcast, do not do that to yourself.
But you've been taught the negative side of things.
Oh, dude, like, yeah, no, dude, so, like I used to get my ass whipped, man, like, that was a thing. Like, I never talk back to my parents. They're driving, you say something smart, bro, I'll reach back there and fucking karate chop your bitch ass. Like, I come from that generation where, like, action and reaction, right? Like fucking, you could be smart ass motherfucker, but you're gonna pay for it.
One of my
here you go, motherfucker.
One of my favorite stories that my dad's mom told us is they were,
your dad killed someone. And buried him.
And buried him in a brush pile.
What are you doing, man? I'm burying you.
my dad's mom and her brother. We called him Admiral Brad. He was my dad's uncle, also named Brad, like my dad's brother. But we called him. He was a 2-star admiral in the Navy, so we called him Admiral Brad. They were telling a story, and my grandma's name was Priscilla, and they got in trouble in the car. So this was like in the 40s.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Like in the 40s, and they were mouthing off or something, and their parent, whoever it was, pulled over and was like, get out.
Yeah.
On the highway. Get out. And you can walk.
Yeah.
And Grammy, we called her Grammy. Grammy said, I think it was her dad, he would drive 100 yards and stop. And we would walk, and as soon as we catched up, he would make us touch the bumper, and he would drive another 100 yards.
Huh.
And she said, I am crying. And Admiral Brad is next to me going, Priscilla, stop crying, Priscilla, stop crying. And she said, I don't know how long we did that for, but we were on the side of the highway. And she said, my father drove 100 yards and stopped. We touched the bumper. He would drive another 100 yards and stop, and probably a mile.
Yeah.
He made them walk behind the car and
100%.
then stopped and went, open the doors and get in. Are you guys going to do that again? No. We're not.
No. Fuck no, we're not.
She said, we drove the rest of the rest of the way home in silence. I'm like, of course you fucking did.
I'm not saying shit.
But he get out of the fucking car. Let's go.
Yeah. As we get older, generations grow further and further and further away from where we started. We started with a bunch of hard motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like the generations of like the hard motherfuckers who like were just animals as people and grew up tough and had to grow up tough and walked everywhere, and fucking cars were, you're making $1.60 an hour.
Yeah.
And cars cost $3,000. Like, sure, yeah, that's cheap, but fucking no, dude, not if you're making $1.60 an hour.
Yeah, it's all moved in scale.
Yeah. So like we grew up in a time where motherfuckers figured it out. We're very far from that now.
You're right, but you and I had the and I'll say you and I had the honor and the privilege of being raised by two men.
Right.
That were able to forecast, and knew that tough men breed easy times, and they went, you know what?
Yeah,
we are going to breed easy times, but we are not going to breed weak men.
Yeah, 100%.
We're going to breed good times,
right?
And we're going to breed strong men.
Yeah,
and that's a movement that I think we could all encompass and use moving forward. Is it's okay to have good times, but it's okay to be tough men too.
Yeah.
And tough people. It's okay to just be tough and have good times too.
Yeah.
Because it makes you prepared, like we talked about with fear earlier.
Yeah.
It's about preparedness.
Well, and the first time that I ever made more money than my dad, he was so proud. And my dad ran companies. Like, my dad was a big deal. My dad was just like the guy, right? And I remember calling him and saying, hey, I made this much money this year. And him being like, I've worked my whole life and I've never made that much money. Like, I'm so happy for you. I'm just like so proud of you. Like, in the moment, going through all the things that I went through as a kid and growing up the way that I did, you look at it like it's not fair. Yeah. Right? Why am I having to do all this stuff? Why am I having to this? Pity me.
Yep.
It's not until you get older that you realize that, fuck, I'm as successful as I am today, and I have the work ethic, and I have the connections, and I have my personality. I'm in sales. Like, I need to be a personable person. Like, I need to be able to talk to motherfuckers. I'm the person that I am today because of all the things that I didn't realize my dad was training me for, that I thought were a punishment, but they're life lessons.
Yeah.
It helps you grow as a person. And if you don't treat your children in a manner that you were treated, or because, everybody's, as you grow generations, like, you take things out, right? Like, you don't want to this and that. But if you tell your kid always that they're the best, and they're the this, and they're the that, and they're not, when they get denied jobs, and they get fired, and they get this, and they get that, they're going to be like, why the fuck? And this is how you get fucking mass shootings and fucking asshole kids, and this is how we have all these fucking problems that we have, because everybody tells their fucking little assholes, you're perfect, you're the best. And then somebody at school is going to challenge them and say, like, you're a piece of shit. And then it's a fucking mass shooting because your little fucking idiot is not happy with the jock who doesn't fucking agree with his things. And then you have all this fucking division. If you tell your kids fucking how it is from the beginning, Stop catering these motherfuckers. You're not doing them any favors. You are going to fuck them up later in life.
Well, you have to expose your children to a lot of things.
Right.
And you got to expose your children to the great things in life. And unfortunately,
yeah,
you got to expose your kids to the bad things. And you know what? It sucks. And I've told my kids this all the time. Like if I'm barking at them, I go, I don't like to be this person.
Right.
I don't want to be this person to you. Right. I don't like having this conversation. I don't like being here, but we are here because of something that you did, and this is the way it is. I gotta fucking teach you.
I told Hunter the other day, I said, I'm gonna tell you something my dad told me. And he said, what's that? I said, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. But hey, it's out of love. And trust me, I'm gonna feel worse than you. But if you fuck up, I will fuck you up.
Yep.
And I said, and I'll feel bad. Like, as a parent, you feel bad. Like, it's not like...
Oh, I feel terrible.
Yeah, no, but it has to be fucking done. You know why? Because they fucking learn. Dude, it's not rocket science. It's, if your kid is an asshole, discipline them. If you don't discipline your kid, they're going to continue to be an asshole until they grow up. Fucking cat.
You discipline that cat?
But, and then when your kid's not successful in life and blames everything on you and lives with you until their 40s, you know, like, that's a you problem. That is a you sheltering the fuck out of your kid's problem.
I refuse, and I refused with Kendra. She was like, you're so hard on the girls. And I said, you make them sweet, and I'm going to make them tough.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. That is our job as dads.
That's our job.
Yeah, no, the moms, like, JJ's like, I give them all the loves and all this shit, and I'm like, yeah, I give them the discipline and the fucking rules and how to be a man. I'm not supposed to fucking be his mom. I'm not supposed to be that thing for him. Like, my mom was that for me, and my dad wasn't. Like, I don't need you as my dad to be like, oh, come here, everything's going to be fine. Like, no, I need you to give it to me fucking straight.
Yeah. No, dude, this is not going to fucking fly.
Yeah, no.
And I'm also
Say the type... that shit again. Say that again, motherfucker.
Say what again, motherfucker? Yeah. But I tell my girls, I'm like, some boys are not going to be able to take advantage of you.
No.
And you're not going to fall for some, if you love me, you this, you that. You're going to go, look,
eat
dude.
my dick.
My girls going to be like, quit being a bitch.
Yeah,
you're like, well, I'm going to go talk to my mom about what you said.
Yeah. I'm going to go hunting with my dad. Get fucked.
Yeah. Fuck off, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with being tough.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with not being spoon-fed.
No.
The only thing you teach somebody by spoon-feeding them is the shape of the spoon. Mm-hmm. Give them some salt. Yeah. If you're always giving them sugar, give them a spoonful of salt every now and then.
So here's the thing. Unless you're a multi-gazillionaire, your kid's going to be in the workforce. Set him up for success.
Yes.
Because he's going to work for somebody, and he's going to cry. And he or she, like, you know, I talk he because I have a boy, but he or she is going to not be able to take criticism. And not one job on this fucking planet is going to cater to your fucking kid the way that you do.
No.
It does not matter.
Fuck no.
It does not matter. Yeah, like, I don't give a fuck what they do. There's an owner who has a certain number that they want to hit every month, and if they don't hit it, it's your fucking fault.
Uh-huh.
Get used to that.
Yeah.
Get used to disappointment and failure. Not I try my best. You know, your best doesn't fucking cut it in the workforce. Your best might cut it at 3 when you're trying to fucking potty train.
But you make a funny statement is get used to disappointment and failure.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be part of what you're going to do.
Oh, dude. It is the biggest part of your adult life until you figure it out.
I will happily wager anybody, point out anyone who the Cameron Haynes, the David Goggins, the Jocko Willinks, the Joe Rogans, that anybody who's super successful and super positive and done all this, point out to me how any of them did not suffer failure or hard times or any of that. I dare you to fucking find somebody that hasn't suffered to get to where they are.
Find one successful business owner.
Oh, yeah.
The guy, Jeff Bezos, did Amazon in his fucking garage.
Yeah.
Like, Amazon in Redbox. Redbox is my favorite fucking thing, dude. So they used to send DVDs. Or Netflix, Redbox, all those things, dude. Like, they used to send you DVDs, and you would have to watch it and then return it to get another one.
Yeah.
And now Netflix is the biggest streaming service on the planet. Like, look at fucking Amazon, dude. Look at all these things that These people started from nothing, and I've failed at businesses, dude. I've lost lots of money.
Oh, dude, look at Mark Cuban.
Yeah. Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
Any one of them go, okay, did you do this without ever failing? I bet
one
against
person
my
on Shark
child's
Tank.
life
Yeah.
that none of them fucking were like, oh yeah, it was always been smooth sailing for me.
Not one person on Shark Tank will tell you, like, no, my first try I made it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, my
no.
first try made $1 billion, and the second time it was $10 billion.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
know what your problem is.
It's all the little things that you figure out in life that, hey, man, this works, this doesn't.
Yep.
Like, oh, like, hey, man, I did a 2-for-1 promo. I lost my ass. I probably shouldn't do that. I should do this. So, no, like, dude, I've had 6 fucking businesses fail. Like, I was always looking for something to do, and JJ's very good at it. But, like, I've thrown money, real money at things that have failed and learned from them.
Yeah.
And you learn from your mistakes, man, and you get to where you're going because all of the things that you learn in life, you don't repeat your same mistakes. But you have to make those mistakes to learn them.
But you got to be hurt by it.
You have to. Oh, yeah.
You got to experience the negative side of it.
100%. So here's the last one, man, and we'll let you guys go, you motherfuckers. The greatest equalizer in life is hunting / fishing / anything that you're doing that is not a guarantee.
Uh-huh.
We've ate tag soup.
Oh, I've had... so in my gun safe, I have an ammo can, and I have a bunch of tags in there that have been filled, and I have a bunch of tags that haven't been filled.
Yeah.
And I've eaten a lot of tag soup.
So, like, Alaska for us, man, was the most fun, dude. Like oh, yeah. I wouldn't take Alaska. I wouldn't change Alaska for the world. We had a blast. I loved our trip to Alaska. However, we got skunked bad. Like, we got real fucking skunked.
We did, and there was a lot of negative input that we went, we're going to learn from all this.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing is, we could have gone out there and fucking, boo-hoo, why don't we have a fucking animal? Or you can take your experiences and learn from them.
But, like, it's funny that you bring up hunting. Because a lot of people we hunt, we get a lot of criticism for it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can have the best laid plans, and you could watch any famous hunters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Steve Rinella.
Yeah.
Cameron Hanes.
Cameron Hanes just shot a big-ass buck.
Dude, yeah, Mike Waddell, Joe Rogan, all these folks on the Outdoor Channel, all these people on any hunting show, and there's lots of times they get skunked.
Bro, on Meat Eater,
yeah.
He's like, fucking, fuck, that didn't work out. I mean, there's episodes where he gets skunked, so they don't make it just, it's TV, and they could edit out all the times that he got fucking skunked, and they don't. They put it in there to show you that it's fucking real. Just because you don't get something, you know, and he does, or he doesn't get something every time he goes out. So you can't expect to get something every time you go out.
But you can't control all those factors.
No, dude, there's a fucking zillion.
But
we're going fishing in a week.
Yeah.
And I hope we catch fish.
I've been on plenty of trips.
Yeah.
It's funny, you and I were supposed to go on a trip, and we couldn't. And then you told me there was a 20-person boat. They caught 2 fish.
Yeah.
2 fish for 20 people.
Yeah. Well, the last time we went out and everybody got seasick, the boat didn't catch much.
No. I mean, we caught a bunch of rockfish. We caught some other stuff. Like, we caught enough fish for everybody to have some, but, like, the waters were rough. It was fucking terrible. But we've been hunting with Neil. We've been skunked a couple times.
We've been skunked with Neil, which is, I would say, is close to 100% of a hunt that you can get.
Yeah.
With Neil, and we've been skunked.
Yep. And he's been very honorable and great and come back because there wasn't anything here. But there have been times when he's just like, they're not out here.
Yeah. No, and that's another thing. He's very open and honest. Like, hey, we could come back tomorrow, but we're probably not going to find anything.
Yeah, let's come back in a couple weeks when everything's good.
So that's the thing is, like, hunting for me, man, is the greatest equalizer because it's not called getting and it's not called catching.
Yeah.
It's hunting and fishing, man, and you're out there and you might get something, you might not.
And it's your best educated guess.
Yes, and that's all it is.
And that's all it is,
bro. I can't tell you how animals think. I don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, unless you got something chained down somewhere and you're coming back.
Unless you're in a high fence.
Yeah, high fence. And you're like, oh, Ed eats his oats at 9 a.m., so let's get there at 8:30.
Yeah.
And when he walks up, you can
just fucking whack his ass.
Whack him when he's got his head in a bucket full of oats. At least he died with a full belly.
Yeah, sure. But you know what? That costs a ton of money.
Yeah, and that's shit. I don't want to pay for that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want that fucking experience.
No.
Like, if that's the case, I want to stab Ed.
Yeah.
I want to kill that fucking gigantic elk with a knife.
Oh, side tangent. When there was this episode of Alone, and the guy saw
no, I know what you're the muskox.
The muskox, and he went up and stabbed that motherfucker.
He stabbed him like 18 times, so it was like a prison riot.
Yeah, he kept running by and stabbing that.
He shot him with the bow, and it was a bad shot. And then he ran up and stabbed him, and it was a terrible, agonizing, like...
Yeah, it was a bad death.
4-hour ordeal.
Yeah.
But that's pretty ballsy. Muskox is like a American, like, buffalo.
Yeah. It's
like,
massive.
If he would have run up and that thing would have caught him with a horn...
Goodbye.
They would have been like, unfortunately, he passed away before the rescue team could get there.
You'd be able to watch him die on his self-camera.
Yeah. There's so much blood.
Oh man! So all right, so we've been long in the tooth in this one, man. So we'll nip this one in the bud.
Yes, sir.
The message here, man, is train your kids for life.
Yes.
Because you're raising people.
You're raising adults,
and you cannot like. I know your life's not perfect. You've gone through hardships and adversities and things. Your kids are going to go through the same thing, so you might as well prepare them.
You couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
It's preparedness.
Prepared. Yeah. And I mean, that's with anything in life, right? Like the fear thing, going back, you can never be out in front of it. You can never not have it. But if you prepare yourself for it, prepare your kids for life.
Yes.
Because life is tough, man. Like, nobody gives you anything. No. Like, fucking nothing, man. And if you want to be successful in life, you have to work for it.
Yes.
And you got to take those ass chewings. And it's not easy, man. And a lot of our friends who listen to this work in our industry. And they know, like, bro, nobody's giving you anything.
Oh, there's a bunch in their trucks going, amen, brother.
Yeah, amen, brother. Preach, brother. Yeah.
Preach on.
Yeah, no, you know, the fucking grinders, man, who are listening to this at 4:15 in the morning, man, like you guys know, man. And that's the thing is, we're the product of that generation who just fucking shut up and grind.
Yep.
Like, fucking, hey, you know who wants to hear your complaints? Fucking your truck on the way home.
Yeah, talk to your steering wheel.
Yeah, yell at your steering wheel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, fuck these motherfuckers. You're right. Absolutely. Fuck those motherfuckers. However, take your ass home, love your family, get up in the morning and go back to fucking work. Like,
yeah,
we got bills and shit, motherfucker. Like, nobody's coming to help. No. Nobody's coming to help. So, if this podcast can reach people who don't necessarily agree with this, I promise you, in the long run, your kids need tough love.
They will come to appreciate you too
later
for doing that for them. It might hurt you in the meantime, like you said. This hurts me more than it hurts you. You got to do that.
So, with that, man, I will say, I've been Jarrett.
I've been Jack,
and this has been Shattered Wisdom Podcast. You motherfuckers are welcome. Thank you guys for coming by. And if this is your first episode, welcome to it. Go back and listen to number 1. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah. And check in on your fucking friends.
Check in on your goddamn friends, man. Like, fuck me, dude. People need to be checked in on.
Yes, sir.
So, stay tuned for some things, man. We got some good things coming. You guys have a good day. Monday. Happy Monday, you motherfuckers. This is probably going to come out after the Halloween party. So, if you didn't make my Halloween party, but you got invited,
you fucked up.
You fucked up. You done fucked up. So, hey, but thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day.